about Kanye West. People talking about Kanye West. I can give you a more dangerous and volatile and polarizing figure that is totally off every radar. Dr. York, Isa Muhammad, Holy Tabernacle, and before they was Holy Tab, Ansars.
Yep.
These people are ridiculously militant. Their leader, Dr. York, who was an entertainer,
who's still in prison, may I add.
So they say.
Because
can't nobody tell you what prison he is. I can tell you as somebody that went to his house, this nigga got a whole hospital in his backyard in Georgia.
Dang.
He got a hospital. A functioning hospital for his people and his people only. Who the hell need a hospital in their backyard?
Someone who don't trust the medical establishment.
Or someone who's developing something in their own facility without oversight.
Right.
That too.
Understand this. Isa Muhammad, Dr. York, head of the Holy Tabernacle. He's had niggas selling his books, selling his paintings. By the way, like if you go into any of the Holy Tabernacle stores, like they got nothing but pictures of historical figures all around the walls, and they all look like him. They all look like Dr. York. And his followers keep these paintings of like Moses as Dr. York, Jesus as Dr. York, Abraham as Dr. York, like all of them.
And that nigga was every religion.
That
nigga was every religion. Every religion.
But this is the thing that people underestimate about Dr. York, aka formerly known as Ansars. These niggas will do whatever he say.
That's true.
They sure will.
And have no problem with the consequences.
Like I realized a lot of rappers from the business follow him down to Georgia when he built the pyramid land and all that.
Wu-Tang.
White folks took everybody definitely. Like, and a lot of niggas from the conscious community.
I was promised to one of his sons. I was promised to one of his sons when I was 17 years old. When he took me down there to go meet the family, and I met the 30 wives, and because Shia was out of all of the children, he was 117th. And he was the older of the younger boys. And so I had to go down there before we got married to meet the family and make sure I fit and all of that. Yo, after I got finished seeing the hospital, I was good.
Thank you, Black Pearl. Black Pearl just said she signed up to Jag's network. Thank you for the support.
I'm telling you right now, that man, from wherever he's at, he might be in jail or his property.
Or his property, yep. That's true.
He has so much, like anybody that can pay to not have like satellites and stuff go over your house. And he got a bunch of niggas living in his community, and all they do is sell his books.
Yep. Niggas still make millions of dollars off.
And you know what? If he ever did get released, it's not like that would have got any media coverage. So nobody really even know. You know what I mean? He, like you said, he could be chilling in his own domain right now.
The Jeffrey Epstein effect.
Pretty much.
Right.
Took that nigga in through the front of the jail and took him right out of the back.
Because what I know for a fact, that man has access to CIA intel that ain't nobody supposed to know that's a civilian without clearance. I can tell you that for sure. They worried about Kanye. They need to be worried. They should be worried about Dr. York. They should be worried about that man. And people should be more scared that they don't know his name.
That nigga got millions of names.
Yeah.
that nigga had millions of names and millions of identities. That's definitely some CIA shit right there.
It's strictly,
But they worried about Kanye West?
Yeah,
Come on.
That's true.
Come on.
But consciously, I understand what York was doing though. I understand what he was doing.
Basically saying all the religions is you, but you know what I mean? Basically.
Saying that he's all of those things, but none of those things.
Yeah, but
do I need to slave 24 hours around the clock to sell his books? Otherwise, I'm going to be thrown out of my apartment because I have to live in his community.
Yeah, he's on. Yeah, that's he got that Jim Jones effect.
Yeah, nigga, you better get out here and listen to me. Listen to me. Fun little fact that maybe all of y'all don't know: Music Soul Child grew up and saw Holy Tabernacle. Part of the reason why he was homeless in his later teen years before he got it was because he got thrown out of the damn community. He wasn't selling enough books.
Damn. Wapian?
I'm telling you right now, people want to know where some of Music Soul Child's money went. It went to making sure his mom ain't get kicked out of the community. I'm telling you.
Damn.
Deep hooks.
Damn.
And they worried about Kanye. What?
Well, Kanye already told everybody that he's not the one that people should be worried about. He said you should.
He was my lover and he was my friend for a while, but I don't know if you remember Shia Muhammad, but he used to live down at the community, for the Ansars, down Flatbush and Bushwick. I was with Shia. Shia's what, like number 76 for Dr. York's sons. But I was promised to him at the time. But I was creeping with Lamont. And then Sean came into the mix. And it was just, it's weird. I think for me, the hardest thing in the world to do was...
Because our people recanted with 2 written statements plus 2 videos, and then the other people came and said, well, that's not true, Mr. York never touched us, blah, 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 blah. That was it. Yeah. It was stuck. The case would have went out. And the bad thing about it is, when you get caught up in these kind of cases where they make a big deal out of it, and they throw in children and all kind of perverted stuff that's in their minds, the embarrassment of the media saying, wait a minute, you mean tell me this is a lie? Mr. York doesn't have any venereal diseases? No. Mr. York doesn't have 100 children? No. Mr. York doesn't. When you get all that kind of stuff, where does insanity come from? Sure. Why? Because Mr. York won a case against them. And who else? You remember? Because Mr. York won a suit, a toy.
Anika, the stripper girl that was, dancing and doing all kind of porn shit, and Jacob was pimping her all through New York and Hollywood and shit. I think he don't really fool with her either. But he like to pimp and fuck and freak and do all that nasty demonic shit, little girls and little boys and all that carrying on. And Chris Brown slung the tea because he mad because Jacob York is managing Cartouche. Why would Cartouche let Jacob manage her anyway? Wow. I'd rather for her to have left Puffy manage her than Jacob. Oh yeah, and I was like, well, what is Jacob gonna do with her career? Because nobody that he's ever managed has amounted to anything. Not Lil' Kim, not nobody. He's managing whores. He's managing strippers. The Shanika girl that be digging all in her pussy and stripping all in the. I never liked you, but he one time he tried to work with me back in the day, and he something in my spirit just said he wasn't right. I just smelled nasty and filth on him, and y'all know the queen tell the true tea, so I smelled filth on him. He was just yanking and stanking and smelling like vile, and he came to the studio, and he had this beat, and I didn't like the beat, he got a little upset with me because I didn't like this beat that he had. But the truth was, he thought he was going to come in and do that demonic ass shit with the queen. But the queen was not one of them. And he couldn't fuck me, and he couldn't trick me and hold me all through the damn industry and sell me. So he didn't want to work with me no more. And it's funny because somebody recently told me that Jacob was into film. And I said, damn, let me give Jacob a call, because of course I want to get, I'm a writer and I want to do some film writing and, get some of my content to some of the directors and producers and stuff. So I was like, well, let me call Jacob and say, Jacob, if you know anybody, let them know that I have some screenplays and I got some scripts and stuff. And, if any directors are looking for content, hit me up. Right. And this puss ass nigga, when I said, hey, I called him and I said, hey, Jacob, I was like, it's Kaya. He gonna holler, Kaya? Kaya. Kaya. Kaya?
Wow.
Like, oh, Kaya. I said, I know you know who this is. Kaya. I said, yeah, I was calling because I had some content and stuff, and I heard that you was doing film. You was trying to tap into film because don't nobody want to fuck with you in the music industry. And if you know any directors or producers is looking for some content, I got the content. Click before that bitch could say anything else. Click, puss ass nigga. You know it ain't number one fucking Kaya in this goddamn industry, bitch. Just like it ain't but one Dr. York that's doing life in prison, bitch. Okay, so while you around here want to motherfucking act like Kaya, bitch, everybody know when they say Dr. York that that's your dad.
Right.
So who legacy look better? Mine's or yours, bitch? While you right here motherfucking tricking strippers and shit.
Well,
got little ass girls fucking and sucking dick and got cooch all in the closet looking at your fucking hoes and you wanna talk about Kaya.
Wow.
You know, he one of them type of niggas that like niggas to watch him fuck other hoes. You know, but I feel like them faggot ass niggas, any nigga that wants you to look at their dick.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, true tea. Y'all know I don't slang nothing but the true tea, and you know, this is just the true tea. But I'm just slanging the tea that Chris Brown slung because Chris Brown got online and said everything that I just said.
Wow.
How you fucking with a pedophile, your manager fuck little girls, your manager fuck little... I said, well, damn, Chris Brown cartouche pussy got you going in on Jacob York like that.
I'm talking about for real.
So Jacob, I don't want no shit out of you, bitch. If you want to check a hoe, check Chris Brown. Pee Wee, give us a song, because that's the true motherfucking tea for Tuesday. True Tea Tuesday! Look this shit up. I couldn't make it up. Y'all know I don't make shit up. I just serve the tea hot. And if you want it cold, I'll get you a cup of ice, because I don't give a fuck about you.
Hey.
We live and out loud, turn up Tuesdays, Pee Wee. That was a lot, wasn't it?
That was a lot. I like that.
I know you did, goddammit.
That was a real
Turn up Tuesday. We got to come back. I got some more tea.
More tea?
Okay, so in answer to your question, why do I think the court was closed, is because they had to hide the case. First, they wanted the public to know about the case. They put all this information in the public, all in newspapers, all these hundreds of witnesses, all these people are coming, they said coming forth. But when it came right down to it, they didn't have nothing but a small pool of people that we had proven had all set a plot up in South Beach, Florida, bounced up into Atlanta, into a house where it was at, and hanging out, and they plotted. They saw we had it. They knew they couldn't sustain the case. And what they didn't do, by the way, also the prosecution, as they call themselves, which is Maxwell Woods and Don Baskins, right? What they did is they called witnesses, but they called about 4 witnesses, right? We called all the rest of their so-called witnesses in the indictment. We put them on the stand. The so-called victims in the indictment, the prosecution never called them. We had to call the so-called victims and put them on the stand, and they had to say in front of the court, he never did nothing to me, I was never molested, and they still want to use those victims' names in their PSI and put as a part of the guilty charge when they got right up in the stand in front of everybody. And that's why the judge closed it down. Anytime we put a witness on the stand that had something to say that was valid, the judge would say, hold it, take the jury out the room, let me hear them privately. And they put Jake's sister up on the stand, and Jake's sister said, I was there, I went to his house, I saw Barbara and all them scheming and plotting this thing together, and I told him I don't want to be no part of it. Jake told me the government's got me on payroll, and if I would work with them, that I get shot. I told them I'm not doing that to my father, so-and-so. They cursed me out and told me to get out, right? They knew that every time I stepped in court, I pointed out my jurisdiction rights and how they had no rights over me. My inalienable rights were being blocked. I don't live by their laws or by their government. They knew that was coming. And so what they did is whatever lawyer they threw at me, and they were giving me lawyers that I didn't hire on, like the Garland firm, right, who's there, placed there, sole purposely to draw rich black money so that they can give them pleas and mess their careers up, right? I didn't hire those people. I didn't sign any contracts with those people. I didn't make any verbal agreements with those people. My lawyer was Leroy Johnson, first black senator in Georgia. They pushed him out the way and they jumped on it so they can sabotage this case. The purpose of this case is to establish certain precedents in the state of Georgia. One is this is the first time the feds ever got involved in what they call a sex case. You follow? Yeah. Second, this is the first time Middle District Georgia got involved with a RICO case. So they were trying to set a precedence with this organization, as they call us the Nawapis, and avoid now the Yamasee Native American tribal name, so that they can keep it as a religious organization. And this is why the case was all in court based around religious and religious belief and who I say I am and who they believe I to be, so that they can eventually, after this case, set a precedence to go after all of the black ministers in Georgia, like Creflo and all the other prominent black ministers, so they can come after them. Somebody can come out the framework 10 years, 15 years and say he did something to them, he felt them, or he did
way, by the government, by the way, because we found out the witnesses were on salary, receiving favorable concessions, which came out in the court. Right? I know I didn't answer your question yet, but I want to get this on point.
Okay.
Right? Receiving favorable concessions, like Jake York was paid by them. We know that to be a fact. And he was sent out to scare other people, to tell other people, we got information on you, and if you don't say this, and you're going to take your kids away, we're going to lock you up, etc., etc., etc. Question. But now that that's on point, right? Why did they close the court? The judge had to close the court because they knew they didn't have the witnesses. They had boasted from day one that they had all these children that had been molested. And they said they're going to put them up there and they can't wait. Because I remember when I was in Atlanta, when Mr. Bright came on with his new indictment, the first thing he said in the newspaper, in Atlanta Constitution Journal, and in News Today, he said, I want to put every child up there because I want every part of this case heard. That was his whole new thing when he came up with all this new indictment. As time went on, they realized that as they called people and interviewed people, that most of the people that they had as victims were saying nothing never happened.
Right.
And that they isolated down to a handful of people who had corrupt records for their money, and put it in this kind of money orders and break it down like this, and everything will go away. We got a bunch of letters from her son admitting to me that he's very sorry, that his mother and them put him up to do this for a lot, for money, and told him how now that they're out of the community they can't survive and they don't know how to do anything, and they need to go, and the community should be paying them, and so they just get money out of the community. So then it was easy for Jake to solicit them and get them in. Then the same thing with the sister was having mental problems all the time, so they tied her in it. So now they got a package of people that he didn't convince that this is how we're going to work this. They all lived in the house together. They rehearsed their stories, and they started soliciting other people who was what they call dissidents or disgruntled members who were put out for various reasons. Before this, they planned on having an open court, make a big scene out of it. The judge was smart, so what he said was, I'm going to move this down to a town called Brunswick. So it happened that Brunswick is the same town that the Yamasee Native American Moors had their conflict with the Confederates, and he happens to be, Judge Ashley Royal happens to be a descendant directly of those Confederates. This is no coincidence, right? And he took it down to Brunswick where he practiced law and lived for 20 years. This is no coincidence. He chose the jury himself. I sat there. Every time we would say somebody, he would say no, and then pick somebody else. He had already had these people picked. The people outside in the courtroom, because when you have a jury pick, you're sitting in a separate room. Outside in the courtroom, the people were gathered, over 200 people, waiting to be selected. As they were coming in, he would ask them, this is Ashley Royal, right? And we have the minutes of this here. Did you hear about the case? They would say yes. The whole purpose of pulling the jury is because they're not supposed to hear about the case, so they're not biased or prejudiced. They would say yes. Where did you hear about the case? I heard about the case from the Savannah newspaper. I heard about the case from the Brunswick newspaper. I heard about the case on the radio this morning. And did you hear about a guilty plea? Yes, I heard that the man pleaded guilty, so he must be guilty. He still put those people on the jury panel. After they came in and said they were discussing it outside, inside the court before they came in. And this, about out of the 40 or 50 people that he did bring in, everyone said not one person said they never heard nothing about the case, or never heard nothing about the Nuwapians, or never heard nothing about Malachi, York, or what they called. Every single one of them admitted to having heard something about this case. He still put them on the jury panel, and then he shuffled the jury panel in a way where it looked like there were some blacks up there, which would make it somewhere near a jury of my peers. But by the time they came down, those were what they call the sit-ins, and they were pulled off. And the one black woman who was left up there is the one woman who said this case is a farce, and I know it's going to get overturned, and I don't want to be a part of it. So she resulted in a hung jury. But what he did is he made all the juries anonymous so nobody could find them. So he could pick them and get rid of them so nobody can trace this out. So he set it up like that. So they moved it down there, but he moved his excuse that he'd been monitoring the Nuwapians for years as a judge in the Middle District, right? And he said they've been getting unfavorable press.
Now I just want to go down the line and different people that have affected this case tremendously. Now, one of the named people in the conspiracy is your son, Jacob York. How does a father handle something like that?
Well, his real name is not Jacob York. His name is Yacub Abdullah Muhammad. Right? His mother's name is Ubaida Abdullah Muhammad, and he has, siblings, brothers and sisters. Right? It's a very touchy situation because his mother died of an aneurysm attack. Right? Me and her have been separated for many, many, many years. You follow? And she died of an aneurysm attack, which her father also died from, and one of her brothers, Maddie, all died from Maddie Johnson. All right? He went off and told people that I was responsible for the death of his mother. This really affected the kid. It destroyed his mind. Then on top top of that, one of his brothers, one of the twins, which is my son Yacub, he was at a party in New York. He was down here with me, living in Georgia. He said he's going up to New York to spend a little time with his sister Fatima because of Valentine's Day. He wants to let her know that he is going to move down to stay with me in Georgia. You follow? And when he went to New York, he got involved with them, hanging around, living in his brother Jacob's house. He calls himself Jacob or Yacub, living in Yacub's house with him. Yacub eventually threw him out of his house. He got involved with another member of his family and ended up in a party and was, shot fatally and died. You follow? I think that also affected his mind. Then he was involved with people like Little Kim and them. I ain't gonna tell you about Little Kim and her dress habits and the vulgarity and the lewdness of and involved with that corporate. He called himself Yorktown Records or Yorkville or something like that. Yeah, Records. And he was hanging out with the Junior Mafia and hanging out with that whole hip hop, hot, wild, tough guys, stuff like that. Called himself gangster, and he's involved with all kind of bank fraud and forging false checks and all kind of things and trying to trick the government. So he came to me at one point and asked me for some money, right? He wanted me to help back him to back Little Kim. I told him I cannot back a person like Little Kim with my reputation. I'm not going to put my reputation on the line. And while she's nude and stuff like that, I ain't got nothing against her and her career. That's her life. But it doesn't fit into our lifestyle as emancipated American Moors, and I didn't want that to reflect on our community. He got very mad. He started cursing, stomping around, and he left and went off. Him and Sakina Parham at the time was kind of close because they used to be boyfriend and girlfriends when they were upstate. See, Jake York or Yacub was Ada's boyfriend. He was also Sakina Parham's boyfriend, and they had gotten caught several times upstate having sex. Right? And they got in trouble for that. And he was mad about that. He was running a record store that I once had up there in Liberty, New York, and he was caught stealing money out the store, and he got in trouble for that. I did everything I could to try to shape him into a better person, but down inside, he had this desire to go his own way. He became an avid hater of me, and he became one of the campaigners of this whole case, of launching this whole thing and getting these people together and threatening them and scaring them. He was on payroll, and he was on the payroll at the FBI. Now, a witness got on the witness stand who was his best friend who was there when the deal was made with FBI agents, and he was also the one who was going to testify that Jake came to him because they knew he was good at forging checks and tried to get him to forge checks for him so he could use those forged checks to buy a house because his credit was not strong. His credit was around $2,000. He needed to be $24,000 to get covered from the bank. And the guy refused to do it, which is a friend of his called Damien Pryor, who was up there at the court to testify about this. And in that testimony, he testified how Jake York was on the government payroll. They got to Jake York for things he had did in the past, right? And then turned him. He already had a dislike for me, and they used that as excuse to try to topple our organization and topple me. So he got to him and then told him to solicit people. And he went around getting people. Meanwhile, while he's soliciting people, like Tia Thomas, she was that guy Hakeem's girlfriend. And so he pulled her away from Hakeem, and he's having sex with her. He's having sex with Karima Hammer. He's having sex with Keena Prime. He's having sex with all these people, and they all testified to it on the stand. Yes, Jake York was the one having sex with all of these people, and then they all lived in this house together. The thing is, now, if he had hired this guy that was supposed to adjust checks so the amount of money would be suitable so he can get this loan from the bank, and the guy refused to do it, but then he eventually got the house anyway, and we have the records to show his accounts that he only had $2,000 in the bank, and we checked the records in the bank for the person in the house, and the records were up, then the forgery was actually done. This guy, Damon Pryor, didn't do it, but he forged it, and he bought this house along with Barbara Noel, which is Ada Lopez and David Noel and Amanda Noel's children. Those are the ones they're all in this case. You follow? So it's like a plot, a conspiracy. Then he got together with a bunch of these people and invited them down to South Beach, Florida, so he could get it together. They rented buses, they transported minors across the state line, but nobody said nothing. Coming out of Georgia all the way down to Florida, so they could, get together and plan their plot, get their story together. When they came back off the beach, South Beach, Florida, they went straight into the FBI's agency. Jake went back up in there and started letting him know who he had and how he got them coerced and how these people were all scared, and he told them, if you don't do it, we're going to get you in jail because you was involved in this, and we already know this, and we already know that, and they got a whole bunch of stuff, and putting the thoughts into people's head. And they started writing, and the agents wrote their own 302s and made these people try to memorize these 302s so they could use them on the stand. Things didn't go their way because everybody didn't comply. Jake couldn't convince everybody. A lot of people saw he was full of it. He brought down a bunch of hip-hop groups. They were down in South Beach. They was getting drunk. They were smoking marijuana. And we had a whole bunch of witnesses that were minors who were willing to testify on what went on in South Beach. The judge blocked it. The judge blocked some of the girls who were minors who said they had sex with him down there. The judge blocked it. The judge fact that they were smoking marijuana and using crack down there. The judge blocked it. The judge blocked it. The fact that they had parties, all the girls got naked and they was having big orgies, and they videotaped it, and we was getting access to the video. The judge blocked it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So Jake was being used. I'm saying he's my son. He'll always be my son, right? And he said, I hope he's my son. I said like that, right? But he'll always be my son, regardless. You know, I can't say I'll ever hate him. That'll be inhuman, right? But I know they manipulated him and they used him because that's what they wanted to do to top his organization. He had no concern with his organization because he was in the hip hop world, so he didn't have nothing to lose anyway. You follow? But they had him binded by things he did.
Right.
And then that prompted him to really go out and do a lot of devilishment. You know what I'm saying? In the course of trying to topple me.
Right. Now, there's another key person in the whole conspiracy that keeps on coming up, and that person's name is Habiba Abigail Washington.
Yes. There's no fair trial. And now, we wasn't allowed to present our evidence. We wasn't allowed to present our witnesses. They had no DNA to verify it. They had the children. Some of those girls were grown. There was no kids there. Some of those girls were grown, had venereal diseases that I do not have. They had no videotapes, any tapes of me on any tapes, any pictures of me on any pictures, any audio telephone conversations of me having any kind of, nothing like that. They showed a tape to everybody of me and a bunch of people coming out from Applebee's, and we're coming from Applebee's celebrating somebody's birthday, and everybody got food. They said, see, look at that. What you see? You see me walk out, and you see my wife walk out. You see a couple of people behind us, another adult, and the girl whose birthday we were celebrating. They all had the little doggy bags with them, and we got in the car, and it was a night shot, and that was the best. The man who sat on the stand, who said that he was a surveillance man, admitted on the stand, well, I have many, many tapes, but they only showed that one. Why would they only show that one? Because all the other tapes, he said, did you ever catch him doing anything? No. Did you ever surveil him on the land? No. He said, well, what did you do? He said, well, every time I surveilled him, he was somewhere outside. Where? Every time I went to Kanye's, before I went to the restaurant, I went into a Bible store. They didn't want him to show that. They didn't want him to show me going into the Bible store in Kanye's, Georgia, in the mall, and buying, Bibles to be passed out every Saturday at our classes on the Shabbat. That they didn't want, so he cut it down. But the tape they showed had nothing to do with sex, had nothing to do with racketeering or anything, just me walking up, so they can do that with anybody coming out of any restaurant, right? Let me go back. They had no physical evidence. They in no way tied me to anything. They didn't tie me to no stuffed doll. They didn't tie me into no videotapes. They didn't tie me to no pictures. They didn't tie me into no audio tapes. They didn't tie me into anything. They did not prove their case at all. They didn't even attempt to. What they did attempt to do is establish that I'm God, or I think I'm God, and approach it from a religious standpoint of view, which resulted in the jury being so confused that instead of them asking for some pertinent part of the evidence which wasn't there, they had to ask for something ridiculous as the Holy Tablets. What does the Holy Tablets, a religious book, have to do with a RICO case and a molestation case? Nothing whatsoever. So why are they asking for that? Obviously, because the prosecution was pushing a religious thing, because their attempts and their plan is to use this case as a precedent to go after all the black churches up in Georgia, throughout Georgia, because there's a lot of very prominent black ministers now, and they have very large congregations, and they're very powerful, and that means they control many, many, many votes. So the whole thing is a plot that was put together. Jake and them was a part of the conspiracy. They had to figure a way to get this thing to make it look legit. That's why they got Jake York, who had his own charges, put him on salary, threatened him up, told him they'll give him immunity from all the stuff he did, and we got a whole list of things that he's involved in illegally. It's up on the internet if you want to go there. So, no, it wasn't a fair trial. The judge himself, who actually was, planned it. He ignored my request for a continuance, which I needed because I was trying to get rid of these lawyers that they pinned on me, which I said was never mind, these Caucasian lawyers, and I got this black lawyer, Adrian Patras, and I sat right there in front of that judge, and I said, my constitutional rights, according to your beliefs, tells me I have a right to get a continuance because this lawyer, after age is 20, you sent me to New York for a reevaluation, right? When I came back from New York, after 90 days of the reevaluation, the psychiatrist said I was sane, he said I was a black Indian, he confirmed everything in his statement. They tried to take that out, but we have it on record, right? When I came back, now, I go before you, I said, okay, now I'm ready. I wasn't planning on fighting no trial with no Garland or law firm, because I found out that they were working with Putnam County, and they were working with the government, so I was not trusting them. And they gave me an Indian guy called Manny, but I found out that this Indian guy called Manny had a Caucasian wife, and that he himself works for the government as a military lawyer. So I knew I was in the wrong hands. So I said, no, whoever put these people together, I don't need them. So I got a black lawyer. And when I got the black lawyer, I told the judge that we need a continuance so I can work on the case. Because after all, y'all bounced me to like 10 different prisons, so I couldn't be stable, so I couldn't get my case together. I couldn't fight me. Every time I get settled in one place, he'd fly me somewhere else. He cut me off on the telephone. He cut me off from pens and pencils at certain times. He cut off my mail at other times. He cut off my visits. So I couldn't really work on my case. So I have a box of stuff that Garland would bring in, and I've never seen left off of my case, and then they'd move me and they'd leave the boxes behind. And then that stuff would get lost. And I'd end up in another place where you can't get that stuff. And it went on like that there. So when I finally got before Judge Wells in Macon Middle District down the private meeting, because he didn't want to have this open, but there's still minutes on it, transcripts, I said to him, I need time to work with this lawyer on my case. Because after 2 years, the prosecution had 2 years and 2 months to work on the case, investigate, to find people, to track down witnesses and victims and all that there, and they came up with naught. They came up with no evidence. They came up with nothing concrete whatsoever, and nothing that tied me to. What they did is use the law called hearsay. There's nothing no one said I said. It's what other people said. There's no statements of me. There's no tapes of me. There's no videotapes of me. There's nothing. They could have put anybody in that courtroom and had people get up and do exactly what they did and found that person guilty. You follow what I'm saying? The way it was set up, it didn't matter who it was because it never tied anything to me. You follow? They show my bank statements, but then I bring my accountant down from New York for 30 years. I've been working with him for 30 years, and he plainly says, well, this man has never been audited in 30 years. In fact, he's overpaid his tax. I can't even see how you can get a RICO for $10,000. This man deposits millions of dollars in the bank over a period of time. So where that came from, so what they did is the prosecution, Master Wood, lied and said, well, so if he was living under another name, Dwight D. York, a bogus name, right? A name that doesn't exist, that I never lived under, right, which is called a misnomer, which they have on all the documents. But if he was living under that name and he didn't tell you that he was doing another kind of business, would you know? Which is a stupid question, because the answer to the question has to be no. But he never said to the man after that, well, in fact, he doesn't work under any other name. He doesn't live under that name, Dwight D. York. He never did anything. There's no documents. They never put one thing on the screen in the court to show anything where I signed my name as Dwight D. York, or any bank statements, or any accounts, or any private accounts, or any private investments under that name. They just use a trap to trick the jury. Well, the jury's already working with the judge anyway, but to make it look like they're tricking the jury into thinking, well, maybe this man was doing something behind his accountant's back. Right. This would support their attempt to get a RICO where it made no sense. Excuse me for running on, but I talk fast.
Okay. That brought up another question. There are rumors that the officials in Edenton know of a person named Dwight York, and they were saying there was a distinction between Dwight York and Malachi York.
Oh, yeah, it's very clear. See, they had meetings. They had so many meetings that was going before the Board of Commissioners, right? And Mary Ann Tanner got a document. We have the document where she's talking to a person named Dwight York, and she separates Dwight York, the son, who's in his 30s, from Malachi York, the father, who's in his 50s. It's in black and white. She says, oh, I know the difference. I met the son, but I never met the father. So everybody in Putnam County knew all the time that they was using a bogus name. But in order for them to tie and say to the public that I was a previous convicted felon, which I wasn't, they had to use another name. Because they used my name, there were people who went into computers, because they know we have police officers and we have FBI agents that are part of our organization. They would have pulled up on the computer and found that I never was a convicted felon. And all those charges they threw out in the beginning of this case in the newspaper to let me look like a monster would have dissipated immediately, and I would have been eligible for bond. So in order to do that, they had to use a misnomer, create a fictitious character, and then feed the public with he's a convicted felon, he's an ex-rapist, all these things that they later on had to come back and admit was not true privately, but would not admit, they have not come back onto the media and proved it to them and admitted to them yet. So they knew all the time in Putnam County that Dwight was my son. And not me. They knew that all the time. They knew the age. They knew when he used to come here because he was living down here in Georgia before I got down here. And he used to go to all the board meetings and talk to all those people. Jerome Dean Adams was there. That's before Seals even got in town. That's when they had Sheriff Russo here. And Jerome Dean Adams and Marion Tandem came on the board. They keep on being, but they encountered my son. And they knew who he was. And they know I'm not him. And they know he's not me. They just deceiving the public. That's part of what they're doing to try to get this case so they can try to take those people's land out there and try to take our women and stop us from propagating our teachings.
Right.
Today's date is March 8th, 2004. This is an exclusive interview with Yacub, Chief Black Thunderbird Eagle. How are you doing this morning?
Okay, for a man who's in the belly of the beast on the House of Patmos, I'm doing all right.
Okay. Well, I have some questions I think that the public would like to be cleared up. May I?
Yes.
Okay.
How about everybody first? Go ahead.
Is it true that you did not move to Georgia with any of the alleged victims?
It's a known fact. In fact, the parents of the victims that they did have on the stand all admitted, one after the next, that they moved down here. So some mother right there told them that she came down with us and we didn't come to no land. We went over to Macon, Georgia. They lived in Macon. Other people lived in Savannah, Georgia, and different places. I was not the first down here. I didn't bring any children down here. In my vehicle, when I came, there was no children in my vehicle at all, whatsoever, all adults, and we have all that logged on record and verified. The courts tried to ignore that.
Okay. Now, is it also true that when you got to Georgia, people had already began to move to the land and were already in Georgia?
Yes, there was people already living on the land months before I came down to the land.
Okay.
Right? The families were already, some was already settled here, some brothers here preparing the land and all of that. When I came down, in fact, was abrupt. Right? We came down here purposely because the Eagle Rock Mound, or Rock Eagle Mound, is right down the road from us. That's why we came here, as humanity Native American was coming back to our own land as indigenous people. But the other family was already down here, not only in Putnam County, but on that land and throughout the Sparta, Macon, and different places, already living there before I even got here.
Okay. Now, the land itself was originally purchased as a pure trust, or can you explain?
Not purchased as a pure trust. A pure trust is a common law term.
Okay.
Right, where you turn the property over to a company, to a pure trust.
Okay.
Georgia is under common law. Fields and them will keep getting a newspaper and play games with people in Georgia and say they're using this old common law thing. Look it up and you'll find out Georgia is under common law. Georgia state don't even have a forfeiture law at all. So the feds had to be created to get a forfeiture on those people's land, and they know we had a pure trust. When we went to Jones County Court before Hugh Winfield, and the pure trust was put before him and questioned, he said, I'm not touching that, and we got the minutes to back that up. I'm not going nowhere near that, and he left it alone. And so we left it as that was it. I moved away, I moved to Clark County, forgot about the land, had no interest in the land, and was not even visiting the land. That was another lie. I didn't visit the land for over 2 years. I wasn't there. So what happened is, they forced me to come over because they said, we need you to do a quick claim deed because the judge and them won't release this, they won't recognize our pure trust, even though they knew all the time the pure trust was legal in the state of Georgia as common law. But they said they wouldn't use another tactic to force our back against the walls. I said, okay, I'll sign a quick claim deed, whatever it is, just get it out of my hair. So I signed a quick claim deed over to a bunch of owners, and then they established in court in the final meeting that I had no interest in the court, and this was Judge Pryor, right, and Lawson, as an attorney for the state, of the county, I think he was at the time, paid a fee of $16, established that Malachi Z. York, or Chief Black Thunderbird, or Esau, whatever you want to call me, has no interest in the 404 Shadydale Road property. None of the 476 acres will have any interest in. It's not mine. It's other people's. They're just justifying trying to steal it.
Okay. Now, with that being said, the property, you said you moved down to Georgia because it was Native American, your Native American roots were here in Georgia. Was it also true that the land in upstate New York that's mentioned in the indictments, that was also Native American land?
That's right. We had a reservation set up there, signs, pictures of it. Different tribes used to come up there. We used to have powwows up there. It was in Liberty, New York, and that's where we used to gather. We was dressing in Native American clothes. We had Native American music. We lived our culture up there before we came down here. It's not something we acquired when we got here. It's not no newfound idea. I was a Native American all my life. Regardless of what religion I got involved in, or what fraternity I got involved in, or what culture I studied, be it Masonics or the Egyptians or the Christians or the Muslims, I was still by birthright and by gene and genealogy a Native American, Yamasee Native American of the Creek Nation in the state of Georgia. From Georgia, we traced our family tracking the railroad tracks all the way up to Massachusetts, from Massachusetts Indians to the Pico Indians, all the way back down to the Cherokee, all the way back down to the Creek Confederates, and then even over to Florida, where we found Chief John Horse, whose name was Juba, which was Ben York, my great-grandfather's brother, and he was down amongst the Seminoles in St. Augustine, where they recently found bones.
Okay.
And trace him out also, John Horse, they call him.
Okay. And is it also true that because in the trial they're trying to say that these certain alleged victims were traveling in interstate commerce? Is it true that the alleged victims moved with their own mothers and fathers to Georgia and on their own?
Each one of them. When Abigail was up there, her father got on the stand. He confirmed that she moved with him. Tatiana Thomas, right, called her Tia, her mother was on the stand, and she confirmed that she moved down with her. None of the victims moved with me. None of the victims was in my vehicle. Their parents are the ones who transported them down there, and they didn't transport them from up on the mountain directly to that land. No, they moved from different places. Some of them wasn't living up on the mountain. They came from different parts of up there in the north, whether it was Philadelphia or New York, and came to different parts of Georgia, and then later they moved on the land. They got permission from whoever and moved on the land. I think at the time, was the people in charge of the land. Granted them that right, not me. It had nothing to do with me.
Okay. Now, is it true that there were no allegations or reports or charges of anything dealing with sexual abuse in New York or upstate?
Right, our organization existed since 1967. Got incorporated as Nubian Islamic Hebrews Ansar Allah community around 1973.
Okay.
Now, from 67 to 73, we had a community set up. There was none. From 73 all the way up to 1988. From 1973 to 1988, there's never been any type of claim of anything to deal with molestation or child abuse or sex scandals, nor anything dealing with bank fraud or any type of all the stuff they call RICO or money exchanges. None of these things existed from 1967 all the way up to 1988. They started fabricating their charges from 1988, and it's not backed up by any of the truth. So you have absolutely no allegations of anything. Any children, don't forget now, you're talking about 4 people, 4 children, and about 4 adults that are making a statement after thousands of members. There's thousands of members that pass through our organization or from 1967 all the way up, and all of them have children, and all of their children are the same ages, and they have sons and daughters, and if you ask them, these are the ones trying to get on the stand to say, which the judge would let them, this is not true. I know these kids. I know the kids are making the claims, and I know him. We've been knowing him Baba. They make a big deal about the word Baba. Baba's a very common word. Baba means father, whether it's Ava, Baba, or Abu in different languages. We are fortunate to speak different languages other than English because we taught them different languages so they'd understand different things in culture. But they would use words and cliches and things to make this, to hype it up. But it doesn't work if people just use common sense and say the organization started in 1967 and they have no complaints of any type of child molestation through the man's whole beautiful part of my life, the whole time from the time I'm like 20-something all the way up to 50-something, there's nothing. And then I wait till I'm 50-something years old, I'm going into the old age, and then I start playing games and pretending, and they're keeping records of me having sex up to something like 5 and 6 times per day at my age. Impossible. None of that stuff existed. They created that stuff. It's all a plot to take the land and to stop this organization and to prevent our tribe from getting its sovereignty. We are Yamasee Native American Moors. I declared my sovereignty. I stood up for my indigenous rights on June 30th. And here comes old noise getting ready to come back in now. Okay?
Okay.
And I did my best to make it clear to the world I do not fall under their laws. They came to our land. They invaded our land. They brought their stuff to our land. You follow? This is our land.
Okay. Now, dealing with New York, and that's where the basis of the Massachusetts Indian and some of the Native American roots that you mentioned before.
Yes.
Now they're saying that there was no financial crimes alleged in New York or anything of that nature.
Right.
Now, one thing that's always been put in the public is that Mr. York or Mr. Dwight York is a felon.
Right.
Is it true?
Absolutely not. I am not a convicted felon, and they know that for a fact. Otherwise, they would have tried to tag gun charges on me. Because that's what they love to do, tag gun charges. They found a bunch of guns, and I had legal guns in my house, and I'm not a felon, so that's why there's no gun charges, excuse me, anywhere in this case. Because what they're trying to tie to me is stuff that took place 35 years ago when I was a kid. And it was done under youthful offendant. The youthful offendant does not register in as a federal charge.
Right.
So that was all part of a plot also to stir the public. He's a convicted felon. He had rape. They call rape was statutory rape when I was a kid. And I had a girlfriend. She was younger than me, and we got involved and we had a child. It wasn't a thing where I raped anybody and walked away. It was statutory rape. And it was my girlfriend, and we lived and we didn't break up. We had the child, and we raised the child, and everything. You follow?
Yeah. So that's just another ploy.
Another ploy to win people over to make me look like a bad guy. Just like the 100-wife story. He has 100 wives, plus he's having sex with 100 children. Hello, who is he? Superman or something?
Right.
These things are impossible. That people just use their logic. They say the things they're saying don't make sense. They don't even add up to make physical sense. They're impossibilities.
Right. Now, another issue that keeps being brought up, and I know we've discussed it before, but that's the name of Dwight York.
Right.
Where did this Dwight York name come from?
The name Dwight goes back in the family now. They're relatives, right? On my grandmother's side. We have our whole family tree up on the internet and they can see it. Okay? Now, I didn't have a first name. They get my birth certificate, the one issued to me here in Boston, Massachusetts, you see there's no first name. It's just male. Every other person who belongs to the family of Mary and David have first names. All right? But in my birth certificate, of course, there was no first name. So now, they took a name that my grandmother used to call me short. She used to call me Dookie and different nicknames, right? And that's the name I named my son, Dwight, right? And they took that and got him and his life mixed just off of mine and started making these statements that I had, that my name is Dwight Lee York. This is illegal. Because all of the documents they filed have the wrong name on it and it's the wrong person. And even in the statements they made in Putnam County where Mary Ann Tanner mentioned the age matches the newspaper articles where the newspaper article, they're making Macon Telegraph made a mistake and used Dwight York and said age 36 or 34, which is my son's age.
Right.
So they knew they had the wrong person all the time. So there's a misnomer in the process.
Right.
To get them to suing them for using the wrong name. You cannot try a person with the wrong name.
Right.
When you can correct the name. And I'm walking around the state with the correct name, Malachi York, and the feds are still pushing the wrong name. This is illegal. Because
Right.
they got to keep these people from being able to go back and check these names. Because if they pull these names up, smart people like our organization will go in the computer and try to find out. Does he have a felon? Was he this? Was he that? And they'll find it's not true. So they got to try to keep a bogus name in front of the public so the public won't be able to look up the real name. And
Right.
The stories are not true.
Right. Now, dealing with the tribal and the organization, or not just the organization, but the tribe with other organizations within it, moving from New York to Georgia, what would cause so many people to move? What is it that would make people want to move to Georgia? I know there's been mentions of you moving to Georgia because of safety for your life, things of that nature.
But that wasn't the reason why. That's what prompted me to move abruptly.
Right.
I moved for safety. I moved down there so I could be back near my ancestors,
Right.
Nazi Native Americans. But because there was a threat on my life, that made me speed up and move, abruptly. But many people came down because we're a tribe of Indians.
Okay.
And tribes move from place to place. They're admitting that there's another chief from our tribe called Latif on one hand. They're
Okay.
admitting that there's another chief. There's 4 or 5 different chiefs. They have the Shinnecock with us, the Cherokee with us. We have the Navajo with us. We have the Washita with us. These are different tribes, right? All belonging to, all Native Americans. You follow me? So when people heard that I, as the chief of one of the groups, Yacub Native American Boys moved, some people started moving there, but other people had already moved down here to be close to their ancestors before me, and had their own chiefs that they were under their chief. I'm not the chief of all the Watkins. I'm not the chief of all the Indians in the world. I'm not their sole leader. I'm not in control of everybody's minds or everybody's thoughts or everybody's finances or who sleeps with who or when they sleep with them. All that is bogus jargon that SEALs and them came up with to establish a monster case.
Right. Okay. Now I know.
Like the great Dr. Malachi York was, cause I talk like Dr. Malachi York. Then there was Dr. Malachi Z. York, consulted by the son of Malachi York, doggy.
And it was evident that they didn't have a case unless they were to get this RICO, which they've never done in the state of Georgia before.
Right.
What are some of the reasons why you feel they went for a RICO charge and things of that nature?
Well, first of all, I brought my accountant in, the Duke firm from New York.
Okay.
Who I've been doing business for over 30 years, from the father to the son. I've never been audited. I've never had any problems with the IRS ever in my whole career. I've deposited millions and millions of dollars legally. I filed my tax. In fact, I've gotten money back. This is the first thing that they claimed, which is a part of this setup. Right? Why they did this is because they saw the sex case by going to the internet again. If they go up there, they'll see all the evidence. They go from beginning to end. They can see all the evidence. They went up there and saw that they were not going to win a sex case. And the only way that they can go for this man's money and go for the community over there and putting them is to create something called a RICO. So RICO is this new law that they created for Gotti, and they're using it in the system now to destroy. They didn't find money under my bed, first of all, because I have one of those mechanical beds and you can't go up under it. First of all, nothing to do with Putnam County. I didn't live in Putnam County. I have no interest in the property in Putnam County, and I don't own it by far. It's owned by different people's property. I said, I don't want nothing to do with the property. I haven't been around there for 2 years. I just coming back around this 2002 for the Savior's Day, and I was helping them shop, and that's when they arrested me in Baldwin County. Because other than that, they check the records, they'll find I hadn't even been there for 2 years. I hadn't even visited the land. If I was that's all part of a hoax, of a lie. It's a scandal. They got to pull down us. I have 407 books. My books are profound and thorough and factual, and they know it, and they see how fast organizations is growing worldwide. They're intimidated by me. They're intimidated by my intelligence, and intimidated by the growth of this organization. They tried to declare me Jesus. I never claimed to be Jesus. They tried to declare me God. I never claimed to be the God. I say all of us are children of the Most High God. Right? Whether you want to call him God, or you want to call him Elohim, or you want to call him Allah, any name that makes you feel happy. But the bottom line is, I don't claim to be Jesus Christ, and I never did. And it's written in my books, I don't claim to be any of the things that they had to use to make it a religious thing, so they can eventually use this against other people. So they try to pull us down, try to destroy those people's land, that beautiful Egyptian village out there. People need to go out there and visit that Egyptian village and see why them white folks out there are so upset and want to tear it down. That's a small minority of racist people in a small town of Putnam County, and they see that this was all done independently of them, and sustaining itself. Then we moved to Athens. We started again over there to start another thing when I broke away from them, and they came out there and attacked us there also.
Okay. Well, the next question I would like to ask you when you call back is regarding the RICO and the money structuring charges, because it seems like that's a charge that doesn't really make sense of how it made it into this trial, and maybe you could enlighten the people on the reasons why it was. Okay?
I'm going to go back.
All right. Today is March 14th. It's another interview with Chief Black Thunderbird Eagle. How are you doing today?
Whatever bad, I'm doing well.
Good. I'm asking some interview questions today regarding some information dealing with the pledges and things of that nature.
Yes.
What is it? What are the pledges, and how can people out there better assist you in this time period dealing with your financially?
There's no pledges that I'm behind, right? There's only those people who want to send their stuff to the Yamasee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation, right? BIA number 208-1999. And they send it in care of Malachi, but they'll make the money on it, make it in Malachi, York. Don't put the Z or L, just make it Malachi, York. And that's what that's our fundraising. Everybody else, a lot of people meant well, they had a lot of programs, they got a lot of, but they're not to send their money to those people. They're not to buy their tapes. If it's not coming out of my office or my people, don't buy their tapes, don't participate in no pledges, or any other type of thing that's going on out there because it's not coming from me.
Okay.
Like the great Dr. Malachi York was, cause I talk like Dr. Malachi York. Then there was Dr. Malachi Z. York, consulted by the son of Malachi York, doggy.
And it's on. So right now I'm on my way to Brooklyn to the studio. You know what I mean, get some more songs done. Hop on this motherfucking highway and byway. Fuck up out of here, you heard? Gotta stop and get gas. Gotta stop and get gas. Almost forgot. Pull up in this gas station real quick. Get that cute ass. You know what I mean? Think Kiki took my goddamn money out of my pocket cause I ain't got no cash. I'm about to call her and see what the fuck is going on.
Hello, I'm turning down. What's up?
Yo, you didn't take no money out of my pocket, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why?
No, I thought I had $20.
You spent it yesterday, remember at McDonald's? And then you bought a magazine?
Okay, fuck it.
Where you at?
On my way to Brooklyn.
Heading out for that?
Huh?
Heading out for that?
No, I gotta call back. He was busy.
Don't forget, please.
Yeah. Hey, yo, your fucking charger's in the camera bag. Why you trying to say I lost it?
Oh, it is? My bad. Don't put it there. I must have put it there. Sorry. I apologize.
Alright.
Later.
Alright, later. So I guess she didn't take the money. I apologize too, baby. Sometimes she be doing that though, man. I'll be like, damn, where the fuck my money go? She be taking my motherfucking little money, you know what I'm saying? It's all good, that's my wife. What's mine's is hers is mine's, what's mine's is hers. You heard? Everything, we share everything. We got 3 kids. It's over, I'm married. It's over. I ain't having no more kids. And it's over, I'm married, goddammit. Alright, we out. $20, almost filled up the whole tank. I'm in the Porsche as usual. I mean 911 Turbo. It's fucking raining out this bitch. I know you can hear that turbo engine roaring. Hold up, just in case you don't. Don't make me throw it in 6th gear. You know 6th gear go up to 200 miles an hour. Don't make me throw it in 6th gear. Now, you can't do that shit in the rain, of course, though. That shit a fishtail like a motherfucker. Porsche, they're not good in the rain. Neither is Lexus, Porsche, Ferrari, all that fly shit ain't good in the rain. I crashed my GS in Laurelton in the rain, turning a little bullshit ass corner on Brookside. You know that corner on Brookside? You turn going towards the diner, USA diner. Crashed the shit out of my Lexus, man. My hammer got stuck in the engine and everything, man. I had to tell the dude, I was like, yo, man, no disrespect to your business. My gun is stuck in the engine. Nigga looked at me, he was like, alright, he helped me get it out and shit. We had to pry the fucking engine open and pull the hammer out. It was kind of crazy, man. But he was a good dude, and he seen I wasn't being disrespectful. I just wanted to get my gun out the engine. And he looked out for me and did it. You know what I mean? It's all good, man. Alright, good looking. I appreciate it, yo. Alright, go on. Yeah, I gotta stop saying girl. She my wife now. I start addressing her as wife. Not wifey. Wife. It's official. You heard? Hey, yo, me and Twin is the only niggas in our crew that's married. Me and Twin Gambino is the only niggas out of Mobb Deep that's married. Are we the only stupid ones, or are we the only small ones? I don't know, I'll let you decide. But I know we the only ones that's married, though. I gotta lift my seat up a little bit. I was trying to lift it down so you can see the fucking top of my head. Man, I can't drive comfortable like this, man. I gotta see what the fuck is going on in this little ass car. Goddamn car. Let me put the seat back, maybe that'll work. There you go. You know what I'm saying? Word, but Twin was ahead of me. Twin got married. So he was definitely ahead of the game with the marriage. Havoc is next. Hey, yo, Hav, yo, H. You next, homie. You know you next. It's either gonna be Hav. I'm gonna tell you right now who's next. It's either gonna be Hav or it's gonna be Alchemist. Mark my words. I think Hav might be before Hav. You know what I'm saying? I think Hav was just waiting to see what I was gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Before he made his move. But the nigga Hav is the ultimate bachelor, man. I know he don't want to get that lifestyle up, but we older now, man. It's time to settle in, man. Time to settle down. You know what I'm saying? It's about that time, son. I mean, we grown men now, man. We done traveled the world since we was 14, 15 years old. We groupied out, man. I had enough, man. I done seen all kinds of bitches from all over every corner of the map. That's why I married my wife. Because I know there's nobody out there better than her. I done seen everything. I done been everywhere. And I ain't meet nobody better than wifey yet. So that's why we got married, basically. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I said, Have you next, buddy. You know it. You know it. You know you're next. I gotta stop at this ATM real fast. Get some bread, man. Pay this toll. Cause I ain't got my easy pass, man. Fucking police confiscated my bulletproof truck. And that was my easy pass car. Fucking bastards. I ain't got no cash on me. My fucking card is still acting up from last week when I was out here. I gotta fix this goddamn card, man. So, what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to go through the easy pass lane without paying. And they just gonna have to send me a fine in the mail. Fuck it. I'll pay the little $30, $40 fine. You understand what I'm saying? I'll pay that, fuck it. Let's just hope ain't no police at the easy pass lane right now. And Everything will be A-okay. Everything will be A-okay. Hopefully, everything will be A-okay. Hey, everything was A-okay. I just went through the past. So yeah, they'll be sending me a bill. Fuck it. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do in New York. You know what I'm saying? Make it happen. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do wherever the fuck you at. You know what I'm saying? My mind has been thinking so clearly about what I need to be doing with my music. Like, I'm ever so focused right now on what I need to be in it, on the direction that I need to be going with my music. And basically, what I'm doing is, I need to just put more of the information that I know into my music, because I've been holding back a lot. And the reason I've been holding back a lot is just simply because I don't want to turn off a lot of my fans, man. My fans on the street, my fans in the hood. And I gotta have the right approach with the shit that I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? I don't want niggas to look at me like I got love for KRS, Mos Def, all the conscious rappers, but I don't want niggas looking at me like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas in the hood really don't respect these niggas. You know what I'm saying? They dig what they doing and shit. Like, niggas look up to Mos Def, man, as far as what he doing with his career and his movies and his music. But as far as on some hood shit, niggas ain't respecting these dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like, niggas got respect for KRS-One and all that, but to tell you the truth, man, niggas ain't buying that shit no more, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, truthfully, you go to any hood and ask them when's the last KRS-One album they bought. Ask them when's the last Mos Def album they bought. You know what I mean? Any of these conscious rappers, Common, Talib Kweli, anybody that you would consider a conscious rapper or whatever. And conscious means that you're conscious of what's going on in this world. You're fully aware and awake to what's going on in this world. That's what conscious rap means. You know what I mean? So if you got conscious rap, that means you got unconscious rap. That means you got motherfuckers that's unconscious rapping. That means they sleeping. They still under a spell of Leviathan. They still under the spell of Kingu. You know what I'm saying? So they unconscious. So basically, I'm a conscious rapper because I'm wide the fuck awake. You know what I'm saying? I know exactly what the fuck is going on. And I've been like that since '96. The first time you ever heard me say Illuminati on my mind, soul, and my body, you knew P was on some other shit. You know what I'm saying? I've been on some other shit. But I ain't want to go too far with it because I ain't want to turn off my fan base, man. My fan base is the hood. I got the front line. I got the projects across America and across the globe. There's hoods in London. There's hoods in Germany. There's hoods everywhere that respect and love what I do and what Mobb Deep do. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't want to turn off those fans, man. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of those fans are unconscious. They sleep still. They don't know what's going on. A lot of them are conscious. So I had to mix the medicine with the food. That's what me and Have always say. You gotta mix the medicine with the food. So they eating the food and they don't even know they getting some medicine in there. And that's what I've been doing. Like the I Shot Your song with LL, Keith Murray, and Foxy Brown, Fat Joe, and everybody that I did. That's what I said. That's the first time I said Illuminati with my mind, soul, and my body. You know what I'm saying? That was mixing medicine with the food. Because if you listen to the rest of that rap, I ain't speak any further on it. You know what I'm saying? All I said was Illuminati with my mind, soul, and my body. And basically, I just kept it moving. I just threw that in there. I mixed the medicine with the food. So now that I took this case and I took this plea bargain and all, I got to do these 3.5 years, it's just making me so focused on what I need to be doing with my music and my life and my career. I'm at the point now where I'm saying, I'm tired of mixing the medicine with the food. I'm tired of playing that game. Now I'm shoving straight medicine down your fucking throat, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Straight doses of medicine is getting shoved down your throat. I don't give a fuck if it turns you off or not. Because if it do turn you off, then you're a stupid, ignorant motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? If you turned off for somebody telling you some real shit. And if it's coming from P, that's how you know it's some real shit, nigga. Like, I ain't on no bullshit. Ain't never once did I put out a song or say something out my mouth that was some bullshit. You can't name one time. You can't name one moment in time where I put out some bullshit. I always got something deep to say. Every time around. On the Blood Money album, America's Nightmare, Free Agents, take it back as far as you want to go, take it ahead as far as you want to go. I don't give a fuck. Basically, P always dropping some shit. So if you're not feeling what P saying, then nigga, you just an ignorant motherfucker. Straight up and down. That's how I'm looking at it now. You know what I'm saying? If you can't feel me, then you not feeling me. Right now it's time to pick a side, nigga. It's about to be 2008. It's time to choose a side. You either positive or you negative. You either evil or you good. You understand what I'm saying? Choose a side, nigga. I know what side I'm on. I'm a positive motherfucker. I deal with nothing but positive energy and good energy and good motherfuckers, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not evil. I'm not negative. Straight like that. You know what I'm saying? You might hear some negativity in my songs, but that's because I know how to balance my negativity and my positivity, because negative is a natural force of the universe, and evil is a natural force in the universe also. It's like the yin and the yang. You gotta learn how to balance both of them. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta learn how to have that balance. You know what I'm saying? But the positive always gotta overcome the negative. You know what I'm saying? But you still gotta have that balance and have that little bit of negativity in you, because sometimes they call for that. It's called self-defense. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't got no negativity in you, then you can't defend yourself properly. You understand what I'm saying? Because, alright, for example, right? Say I'm in the crib with my wife and my kids. We in there chilling, watching TV, just doing, living a positive lifestyle, you know what I mean? Taking care of the family, doing the family thing. That's positive, that's good. You know what I'm saying? And let's say one of these hating ass motherfuckers out here, you know what I mean? Maybe a disgruntled employee, as Havoc would say. Let's say a disgruntled employee that we fired, or somebody that we cut off, we cut their lifeline off from Mobb Deep. Let's say they sitting around plotting, and they say, hey, you know what? Fuck Prodigy. Let's go run up in his house and tie him up and rob his crib, tie his family up. Well, hey, I look at it like this, man. Maybe like 6 years ago, I told my wife, I said, yo, listen, baby, we need to buy a shotgun for our house, and we need to register it with the state. You understand what I'm saying? So it's legal. It's not like this illegal shit niggas be doing, getting caught with mad guns. Like for my case, for example, I got caught with an illegal gun. I ain't talk about shit like that. Your constitutional right in America is you have the right to bear arms. You understand what I'm saying? Anybody that owns a house has a right to own a shotgun or a rifle. That's your constitutional right. I don't care if you have a criminal record. I don't care if you're a rapist, murderer. It doesn't matter. Your constitutional right as an American citizen is you can own a shotgun or a rifle in your house as long as it's registered with the state and registered with the feds. You understand what I'm saying? So me and my wife, we went and bought a shotgun. You know what I mean? And the guys at the gun store, they said, yo man, look, if you got kids in the house, you need to teach your kids how to shoot the shotgun. You know why? Because if you don't teach them how to shoot the shotgun, and their curiosity gets to them, they'll fuck around and get the gun just being curious and end up shooting themselves by mistake, or shooting somebody else by mistake, just being curious and wanting to see, oh, what's this gun do? You know what I'm saying? What is this gun? They play video games all day with guns and all that shit. They play with cap guns and water guns. So they might bump into the gun in the house and make a mistake and shoot themselves or shoot somebody else. Or let's just say the gun just goes off and don't shoot nobody. The bottom line is, the guy at the gun store said, hey yo man, you buying this gun, okay. Do you have kids in your house? I said, yeah. He said, yo, alright, if you got kids in the house, you need to teach them how to shoot this shotgun. The reason being, so they can learn the power of the gun. You understand what I'm saying? Once they learn that power of what that gun had, and see what that gun can do, and hear it, and feel it, and see it, I guarantee you, they'll never play with that gun. They will never, ever, ever touch that gun or play with it. You know why? Because they're no longer curious. Now they know exactly what kind of force that gun has, exactly what kind of power that gun has, and exactly the damage that that gun can do. So, if your kids are smart, like my kids, they won't ever touch the gun or try to play with it or be curious about it after you teach them how to shoot it. So back to what I was saying, the guy at the gun store was like, yo man, you got kids? If you got kids, bring them in here. Because it was a firing range downstairs in the gun store. He was like, yo, bring them in here and give them some gun lessons. Teach them how to shoot at the target. This way they won't be curious about their gun and they'll never play with it in the house if they ever so happen to bump into it. You know what I'm saying? And that was smart. So we bought the shotgun, you know what I'm saying? And I brought my kids to the gun range and I taught them how to shoot. My daughter was too young, you know what I'm saying? So when she heard the shots, she was scared to shoot it. You know what I'm saying? So right away, my daughter knows not to play with that gun because she's already scared of the sound of it. Alright? From being around the shooting range and seeing the power that gun has. You know what I'm saying? So my son, when he turned 7, I said, yo, what you want for your birthday, yo? He said, yo, take me to the gun range and teach me how to shoot the gun. I was like, wow, that's ill, because the dude at the gun range told me to do that anyway. So for his 7th birthday, I took him to the gun range and I told him how to shoot the shotty. I taught him how to shoot the shotty, you know what I mean? His first shot was a headshot, off top. Bam! Caught a headshot. Little 7-year-old shooting a shotgun. I had to actually hold his back. When he shoot the shotgun, he was going back a little bit, so I had to hold him so he wouldn't fall back when he shoot the shotgun. His first shot was a headshot though. I said, yo, how the fuck you learn how to do that? Nigga said playing Grand Theft Auto. I was like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Back to what I was saying, man. If a disgruntled employee or something tries to break in my house or on some revenge shit or some disgruntled shit, like you gonna do something to Prodigy and his family, homeboy, you gonna die. You know what I'm saying? Or homegirl, or whoever the fuck you are. If it's a team of you, no matter what, if you come to my house and set foot on my property, you're gonna lose your life. You understand what I'm saying? Son, my son is 11 now. My little 11-year-old will fucking kill you if you come into my house unauthorized and unwelcome. My little 11-year-old blow your fucking head off. You understand what I'm saying? My wife will take your fucking head off. You understand what I'm saying? I will take your fucking stomach. I will remove your stomach from your body. You understand what I'm saying? That's what my shotgun will do to you. I will fucking aim that shit at your stomach and remove your organs from your motherfucking body. You understand what I'm saying? Don't ever try to come to my crib, because you will die straight up and down, and you will legally die. Because my guns are registered with the state. You understand what I'm saying? My wife, she's working right now to get her carry license for a pistol. So she's gonna have a full-time carry pistol license. You understand what I'm saying? In New York and New Jersey. So it's something that we should have did a long time ago, and I would have never caught this case if we did it, but hey, it's never too late, son. So that's what we're doing right now. So for anybody out there that got any plans of doing something to Prodigy or coming to Prodigy's house, or you think Prodigy's pussy or whatever the case may be, like, I'm telling you straight up and down, you're gonna die. Like, I can say that live on TV, you're gonna die if you try to break into my house or set foot on my property. And what do you call it? What do they call that? Not invasion of privacy. Home invasion, or it's another trespassing. That's the word I'm looking for. If you trespass upon my shit, you're gonna die, homie. You know what I'm saying? Straight, I'm gonna kill you, because I'm gonna feel like my life is in danger. You understand what I'm saying? And in the handbook rules of New York State and New Jersey, it says that if somebody sets foot on your property and you feel like your life is in danger, and you feel like they come and threaten your life in some kind of way, you have the right to shoot to kill. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just letting you know that. So basically my point is, as far far as the positive, the negative, good and evil shit, you gotta have a balance of both, right? Because if somebody breaks into my house, it's not negative for me to protect myself. To defend yourself is something positive. It's a positive thing to defend yourself. That's not being negative. You understand what I'm saying? I'm simply defending my kids and my family. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I say, that's what I mean when I say you gotta have a balance of positive and negative. You gotta learn how to balance it out. But for positive people, there has to be more positive than negative, straight up and down. Even when you're doing something negative, like when you gotta shoot somebody to protect yourself, you have to do it with a positive state of mind. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're doing it to protect what's positive. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it sounds crazy, but I know you motherfuckers understand what I'm saying. So I ain't really even gotta explain myself any further. You understand what I'm saying? So basically, that's what I'm all about. I'm all about positivity. I'm all about being a good person. And I don't want no negative shit in my life, man. It's over for that. I did that back when I was young. I did a lot of dumb shit. And now that's over, man. It's over for me. I'm married. I got a family. You know what I mean? I got a solo career. I own my own label now. You know what I'm saying? Plus we got Mobb Deep on G Unit. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm good, man. I'm set for life, man. And anybody that want to hate on me, you just gonna have to deal with the consequences if you try to do some dumb shit, you know what I mean? So, where I'm going with my career right now, I'm just expressing myself even more now. And I'm not scared to express myself now. Because before I was kind of leery. I ain't want to lose fans. I ain't want fans to be like, oh, P on some KRS-One, trying to be a teacher. Oh, P trying to teach the world. P trying to say, like for example, in the song Stunt 101 with Banks and 50. Banks said Banks said a line where he was like, yo, I ain't trying to teach the world. Just roll up a blunt. Come with me out front. I'll teach you how to stunt. You understand what I'm saying? So when he said that line in his rhyme, I was like, he ain't trying to change the world, just roll up a blunt. I see what he was trying to say, you know what I'm saying? He ain't trying to, like in his rhymes, he ain't trying to be like to save the world conscious rapper. That's cool. You know what I mean? He could do that. And when I heard that, I understood what he was saying, because I kind of felt that way at the time, man. I ain't want, like I said, I ain't want to turn off my fans. I ain't want people to be like, oh, P on some teach the world shit, trying to save the world. But that was back then. This is now. This is 2007, 2008, 2009, 10, 11, all that shit, nigga. I'm on some new shit. Now I don't give a fuck how you feel. Now I'm just really expressing myself to the fullest. I'm a changed person, man. I changed back in 2000, man. Earlier than that. But I really made my transition back in 2000, man. You know what I'm saying? And it was hard for me to let my fans in the world know what time it is, man. But I'm letting you know right now, that's what time it is, man. You're gonna start hearing more shit in my rhymes about the government, politics, about crooked motherfuckers in this world, and I'm exposing everybody. I don't give a fuck no more. Basically, because these crooked ass cops lied on the stand, tried to set 50 up, because some cops lied on me. So I'm tired of it, man. So when I'm on the radio and I say, yo, they turning me into Malcolm X right now, that's what I'm talking about, man. And my niggas on the street, they already agree with me. Havoc already agree with me. Alchemist already agree with me. All my niggas in Far Rock, all my niggas in Queensbridge, Twin, Godfather, all of them know what time it is already. They grew with me. As I was learning, I was teaching them. Trust me. So my niggas know what time it is. And I'm talking about niggas on the street. The grimiest niggas that still drink 40 ounces every day, still smoke weed. They be like, yo, P, you need to rhyme like that, son. Rhyme like that more about the Illuminati and the government, about all that real shit about health. And, yo, son, we need that in the hood. Come on, son. P, rhyme like that more, son. We need that in the hood. Yo, they've been telling me that since 97, son. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about my real hood niggas. Niggas that got bodies. Niggas that run around selling drugs still. Niggas that's doing ill shit. These niggas, I be informing them about the shit that I know. Little by little, you know what I'm saying? If I learn something new, I call my niggas, be like, yo, son, check out what I just found out. Boom, 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 boom. And they be like, word, that's deep, son. They be like, yo, I love talking to you, P. You always on some deep shit, yo. I want to learn more about that. You know what I'm saying? The grimiest niggas, son. I'm trying to tell you. So, all my niggas on the street already know my mentality. You You understand what I'm saying? The only people that don't know is the public, is you. The only people that don't know is my fans. And they know a little bit, but they really don't know how I get down. Nigga, I am the new Malcolm X. And there's plenty of more of them out there. I ain't the only one. You know what I'm saying? I am the new Dr. York. You know what I'm saying? Doc taught me everything that I know. Malcolm taught me everything I know. You know what I'm saying? All these black leaders that they murdered and killed, assassinated their character, I learned from them. You know what I'm saying? Trust me. You know what I'm saying? I am that new motherfucker. And like I said, I ain't nobody special. There's other niggas out there like that too. But I'm just bringing it to the forefront. And I'm making it happen now. And I'm a powerful nigga. Because I got millions of fans with Mobb Deep and Prodigy. You know what I'm saying? So, come on, man. I'm using that power. Pac was a powerful nigga too. Pac knew about all that shit. Why you think they murdered that nigga? It wasn't no rap war. It wasn't because he jumped that nigga Orlando. No. That's a motherfucking lie. The government killed Pac. The feds had something to do with it. They set that nigga up. And they had something to do with Biggie getting killed too. And then they tried to make it look like a rap war. Yo, if Pac was still alive, we would be on the same team. Why you think I said that in my rhyme on the Return of the Mac? If Pac was still alive, we'd be on the same team. We got bigger fish to fry than that nigga Supreme. And when the bigger fish I'm talking about is this motherfucking government, this corrupt ass system, and these motherfucking cops. Like fuck beefing with Supreme, like nigga, like and whoever, and the niggas that set Pac up, I ain't even gonna say no names. They know who they are. The niggas that set Pac up in Quad Studio and had him shot. Yo, basically what I'm trying to say is fuck beefing with all these street niggas. Hey yo, we need to get together and fucking go at the government, son, the military, all these motherfuckers that's corrupting our minds, our brains, the Food and Drug Administration, Hollywood, you name it, healthcare, everything is connected. It's all crooked. They got this whole world fucked up. They got our minds fucked up. And that's what I meant when I said me and Pac would be on the same team. Because E-Money Bags and Majesty was Pac's homies. Stretch, Majesty's brother. They got killed in Hollis in his car. Who you think he used to run with all the time? The nigga was in mad movies with Pac. Like, and I ain't realized that until me and Bags started getting mad cooler. When me and Bags started really getting cool and started really getting tight with each other, these niggas started telling me mad shit about, yo, Pac was our people. He used to be with us every. I was like, word? And Bags was the first nigga to tell me, yo, Pac was still alive. Y'all niggas would be down together. Because I would have squashed all it. Bags told me himself, yo, I would have, and Madge was like, yo, I would have squashed that beef with y'all niggas, and y'all niggas would have been down with each other, yo. Because both of y'all niggas had the same mind state. We both on some motherfucking fuck that, you know what I'm saying, political shit, like we not having it. You know what I'm saying? We on some rebel shit. Pac was raised by the Black Panthers. Man, I got so much shit to say, man. So much shit on my mind, I'm gonna just let it out. Like, for example, why are they making all these movies right now about snitches? American Gangster, Frank Lucas, he's a fucking snitch. What's the other nigga? Nicky Barnes, he's a fucking snitch. Why are they making movies about snitches? Why there's no movie about Wayne Perry in DC? Why is no movie about Tulu Shakur and all these motherfucking niggas that's locked up doing life? You know what I'm saying? Because they on some real rebel political shit. Why ain't no movies about these niggas? You know what I'm saying? The only movies that you see made is like about snitch ass niggas, man. They promoting snitching. Hey yo, my man Eddie from Branson, you know what I'm saying, the buzz spot uptown, that nigga gave me a book back in the days that was called Snitch Culture, and how America and the powers that be are promoting snitching. They want niggas to snitch on each other. They want people in the streets to call certain, if you see somebody that looks suspicious, look like a terrorist, call this number, blah, 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 blah. They want you to snitch. They raising snitches right now in the millennium. They raising a bunch of snitches. And that's not how it go. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck snitching. We got other things to worry about. Let's snitch. You want to snitch? Let's snitch. Like right now, I'm snitching on the government. I'm snitching on the Illuminati. I'm snitching on the military. I'm snitching on the fucking religion. I'm snitching on some real shit. I ain't snitching on my brothers in the street. You know what I'm saying? You don't snitch on your brothers in the street. You snitch on niggas like the government. You let the world know, yo, these niggas is corrupt. These niggas doing foul shit. And you show the facts. And you show why and how it's all going down. And that's a real snitch. Because you snitching to your brothers about the government. You're not snitching to the government about your brothers. You understand what I'm saying? Peep that. That's some game for your ass, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like straight like that, man. Come on, man. I would never tell on no nigga on the street and get a nigga locked up. Never. Ever. I don't give a fuck. Shit. Like, pee on some new shit, nigga. I'm starting a trend. Anybody that you see that's on the shit that P's on, you got it from P. And that's a good thing. It's not bad that you biting off P and that you on some no jury, no rims. That's good. I want you to get on that. But I just also want you to know where you got it from. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people steal my ideas and like to run with it like it's their own. So I just want to be clear on that real quick. Just know where you got it from and acknowledge where you got it from. If you want to get on the same shit that I'm on now, I want you to get on the radio and wherever you promoting it at, and I want you to say, yeah, my nigga P got me on this shit. You know what I'm saying? I heard him say it first. Cause I ain't got no problem with saying, yeah, Dr. York, Malcolm X, and the rest of our black leaders got me on it. Got me the way I am now. And I got it from them. So you should do the same thing. If you want to follow what P's doing, just acknowledge where you got it from. That's all I'm trying to say right now. I had to throw that in there real quick. Anyway, they raising a bunch of fucking snitches. They making movies about snitches. Alpo movie. Alpo's a snitch. So I have no fear in losing anything. You know what I'm saying? I got sickle cell, and people with sickle cell have a short lifespan. So I have no fear in losing my life. You understand what I'm saying? So you want to assassinate me? You want to assassinate my character? You want to do whatever you want to do? Nigga, do it, nigga. I dare you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? My army is strong in the street. And nigga, I ain't Dr. York, nigga. I got niggas that will go buck stupid. You try to lock me up for 135 years. Watch what the fuck happen. You try to do that to a nigga like P, nigga. Watch what happen, man. Shout out to Tuli Shakur. Pardon me if I ain't saying your name right, but you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Shout out to all y'all niggas locked up. Shout out to Wayne Perry. They need to make a movie about you, nigga. And they need to make a movie about niggas just like you, man. And stop making a movie about these fucking snitches. And you need niggas like me to do the soundtrack. And I'll get deeper into the subject as we go on. But you know, I got so much shit on my mind and there's so much information that sometimes when I start talking, I go off the subject of where I started from. You know what I'm saying? So bear with me and just understand that by the time I'm finished, you will understand everything that I'm saying, and you will understand what the fuck is going on in this world. I'ma teach it to you. And nigga, if you don't understand it, then you just an ignorant, sleepy in a spell motherfucker, yo. You sleep. You fast asleep still, nigga. If you don't understand what P's saying. You understand what I'm saying? Cause I got niggas, man, everybody agree with me in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So I know what I'm saying is right. And I got facts to back it up. And I got all kinds of shit to back it up. You know what I mean? And anybody who don't support Doc, and whoever don't support the movement that Prodigy's on, then fuck you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And straight like that, I wish nothing but good and success for you, son. You know what I'm saying? Cause straight like that, man. If you ain't supporting me, then you're not supporting your own people and you don't give a fuck about yourself. Cause all I'm talking about is something positive, something good, how to fucking teach the kids. You know what I mean? Straight like that, I'm on some real bullshit, nigga. I'm on my shit, nigga. How I should have been back in the early 90s. But it's never too late. And I guess back then I couldn't articulate myself the right way. You know what I'm saying? But now I can. It's a whole different world right now. You know what I'm saying? And now I can articulate myself the right way so people can understand what the fuck I'm saying. I wasn't ready for it back then. Now I am ready. You understand what I'm saying? Now I'm ready. Now I'm ready to explain everything. Now I can explain everything the right way and where you can research the facts yourself. You don't believe what I'm saying. That's what I learned from Dr. York. He always said that. Don't believe me. Go out there and research the facts yourself. And you'll see what I'm saying is nothing but righteous shit. Nigga, you know what I'm saying? I don't got time to be spreading lies. I ain't got time for lies. I'm building an army, nigga. I got an army in the street. You want to join my army? Everybody's welcome. I don't give a fuck what color you are, what culture you from, what religion you believe in. It ain't about that. It's all about you a positive and negative person, son. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get to the rest later. You understand what I'm saying?